has a very good reputation. The most powerful thing that this Finland we are talking about knows the story of Biafra from A to. It's not even as someone telling them. They know the story of Biafra. Finland participated. They were among those who were raising funds for Biafrans during the Civil War. There were Finnish women who were serving in Biafra land during the Civil War, who were helping our people in humanitarian activities. One of the programs Master Simon held, he showed a program where a cathedral was suspended in Finland in order to raise money and send to Biafra land. They said they can't be building a cathedral where Biafran people are dying. They suspended that cathedral and they sent the money to Biafra land. The cathedral is still there. Biafra is engraved in that cathedral up to today.
It's very simple. Initially, we see them as a big brother. When PM was, extolling them, and we got a lot of inspiration from the history, similar history that we had.
Yes.
And unfortunately, the table turned. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. I hope they learn. I mean, they do the right thing this time. They have no choice. They do the right thing this time around.
They have the opportunity to redeem themselves. It's a great opportunity for them to redeem themselves. Because there is no reason you detain an innocent man for going to 2 years now. You're holding an innocent man for no just cause. Even the way he was arrested, they took Mazi Simon Ekpa. It was after 6 months they began to provide evidence. It's not as if they had something on the table before they arrested Mazi Simon Ekpa. It was after 6 months they begin to scam for evidence and Nigeria begin to provide evidence. After 6 months.
Chick Survivor, thank you so much. I'm gonna leave you right now, okay?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you so much. Thank you so much, my beloved sister. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you so all right. Bye-bye. All right.
So, my fellow Biafrans, as we have been saying, that is what I'm saying. It is very important. I'm so happy that our sister joined us. At least she was present in Finland there. She showed herself in Finland and did what needed to be done. So many Biafrans are still there, and more will be still going to God's support. So if you can make it to Finland, feel free to join. Feel free to be there in Finland and also participate. The case is our case. It is not just about Mazi Simon Ekpa. It is about you. It is about me. It is about every one of us. And we will continue to do everything we have to do to give Mazi Simon Ekpa our support. There is nothing that will not make us to win this case. The only thing that will make us not to win this case is when they bring in their politics. Just like Mazi Nandekano accurately named it, global conspiracy. When the global conspiracy begin to play in, we know that so many of these world powers, countries of influence, they have something in Nigeria. They have interest in Nigeria. And the man in Nigeria today who is in charge is willing to give out, he's even willing to sell out Nigeria for him to just remain there as a figure. In the Tinubu tenor, whatever money cannot buy, more money can buy. That is what we see in Tinubu tenor. Whatever money cannot buy, more money can buy. And in that kind of situation, what do you do? What do you do? The only thing we have to do is every single one of us have to be strong. Remain focused and prayerful. Remain positive. And make sure we are not used as an instrument of obstruction or destruction. Make sure that we are not used as an instrument to distract what is happening. That is why each time I speak, I also talk more on those of us who are online speaking. Whether you are a Biafran or non-Biafran, whether you're a content creator or you are a Biafra activist, no matter the group you belong, no matter who you support, mind the speech that comes out of you. Today we know those. If it's coming from those who we already know, who Mazi Nandekano have distanced himself from them, their word doesn't move me. I don't even have. We are even expecting them to see them in Finland. The Chikedozi and China Samuru, the men they sent to testify against Mazi Simon Ekpa, we are expecting them to come forward, but they never came up. They never came up, and already the prosecution council have finished their prosecuting their overview of their prosecution evidence, And we didn't see them. Those that were sent by this sacked DOS, they didn't appear. We were expecting to see that they are getting, because we have Biafrans there who we are watching, to see them when they come to testify. We didn't see them. And they have just dug their grave. Whether they come or they did not come, they are going to face the consequence of lying against the innocent. Lying under oath. They are going to face the music wherever they are. They will face the music. Those who have lied. Today, Master Simon Ekpa is defending the entire Biafran people. It does not matter the name you answer, the group you belong. It does not matter your age, how rich or how poor you are. As long as you are in the old Southeastern region, even whether you agree with us or you don't agree with us, Master Simon Ekpa is defending us because we have the majority. More than 60 million people gave Master Simon Ekpa the mandate through our self-referendum. More than 60 million people gave Master Simon Ekpa. Master Simon Ekpa, conducted a referendum. We are more than 60 people gave him the mandate. Just like Master Nandekano said, that before he will make any move of declaration or anything, that the mandate will come from the people. More than 60 million people gave that mandate. So before you can ever stand against Master Simon Ekpa, before you can ever dispute him, you must have more than 60 million votes. And meanwhile, we have about 80 million plus Biafra. Remove 60 million from 80 million. How many remaining? It's about 20 plus. Or about 20 million. So let's assume the other 20 million. In that 20 million, there are people who are undecided. And there are people who want to be in Nigeria. Comparing them with the people who are willing to go, we have the vote. So when you see Master Simon Ekpa today in court, he is defending our supreme leader, Master Nandekano. He is defending you. He is defending me. He is defending the 80 million Biafrans. Our fate is lying on his shoulder. That is what he's carrying today. That is what he's carrying on his shoulder. It doesn't matter whether you agree with him or you don't agree with him. You can agree with me, you can disagree with me. You are entitled to your opinion. I've always said it, that every one of us, we are entitled to opinion. And there's no way we can always agree. It's not possible. Disagreement is allowed. But the only problem that we have is that we allow our disagreement to turn to hostility. And whenever we allow our disagreement to turn to hostility, it becomes a major problem. It becomes a major problem. And that is where confusion sets in. That is why fighting each other comes in. We forget about the main project. And you begin to go to individual people, individual lives. You begin to fight against yourself unknowingly. I don't care whether you call yourself a content creator or you are a Biafran activist. You must give account to every single thing you say online. But we don't learn. The case of Mazen Nandekano and Mazen Samago should teach us a lesson. That it is not enough to on a camera and speak. You should be able to defend every single thing you say. It is not enough to on a camera. And we know we are in the age of social media, where stupidity and ignorance is the order of the day. Where even when you on your camera and you begin to do stupid things, you begin to show your ignorance, your idiocy. That is when people will come and watch. In today's media, intelligent people are not even listened to. People do not listen to intelligent reportage. No. People in this recent age, they don't listen to intelligent reportage. They go where they have fun. They go where they talk about irrelevant issues. They go where ignorance and idiocy is being displayed. But when you begin to put this online, people will not pay attention. But will that make us to change whom we are? That will not make us to change whom we are. You continue to report and do things right. Because after all, the Biafra we are trying to create can never be like the Zoological Republic. We want to make a difference in Africa. How do you make the difference? You will start from now. Because as I say, the world is watching. More especially the global community at this point in time, where Biafra is defended across the world. The world is watching. They are watching our program. You think it's only Biafrans watching our program? You must be kidding. You must be kidding. I pray that Chuks will direct us and teach us aright and what to do. And there is There is one other article that was written. There's another article that was written by Dr. Mazanga some few hours ago. And I would like to read that article so that we can be able to look into it. Because we are in a very critical time. Every single thing matters. At this point in time, everything matters, and we cannot overlook anything. Every information matters to us at this point in time. So, more especially those of them that has to do with us in this very journey that we are in. So, there is an article that was written by Dr. Mazanga recently, about 2 hours ago, in his platform, directed to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And I would like to read out that very article so that we can equally learn from it, and the world can equally also be looking forward. Because Dr. Mazanga, as you know, he is not a Biafran. He's not even a Nigerian. He's an activist. An activist who is committed to human rights. All he's after is to make sure that Mazi Simon Ekpa has a fair hearing. All he's after is that justice will prevail. That's what he's after. So let us read this very article he wrote some hours ago. It is important because it has to do with us. We learn from all this. These are people who have gone to school to study. These are experts. But this agitation have made us not to respect experts. You see, in this agitation, we have professors, we have doctors. These are people who spend their time to go to school. And you come, you talk to them anyhow, you think their word doesn't have meaning. And most of them are the people who are educated abroad, not even in your Nigerian system where you buy certificates. Many people in this agitation, professors, doctors, nurses, engineers, businessmen, people of timber and caliber are here. But because they bring themselves low down, we put everyone at the same level for us to be able to communicate and reach out. There is no distance. We don't create any distance between us. We make sure that we relate. Many of us are insulting them, abusing their intellectual capacity, abusing their experience that people pay to get. Just like Mazi Simon Ekpa. What Mazi Simon Ekpa is doing for Biafra, people pay him to do that for them. There was a time Mazi Simon Ekpa did a program. He said, consultation in his firm. Consultation to Mazi Simon Ekpa in his firm is $150 per hour. $150 per hour. His consultation, Mazi Simon Ekpa consultation as a lawyer, for you to consult him as a lawyer in Finland, $150 per hour. But this is a man that comes to a program, Biafran program, and he spends hours in a day. He can spend 6-7 hours on Biafran program, continuously on daily basis. Sometimes he comes 2 times in a day. Sometimes he spends at a time he's spending the whole of his entire life, 24 hours for Biafra. But still yet, people underestimate him. They abuse him, they insult him, they call him. We still have some people who are professionals in this very cause. Many of them have decided to be silent because of the way ignorant people insult them. People who are ignorant of what they are doing. These are people who bring out their expertise. Just like Dr. Mazanga, an expert, somebody who has knowledge on international law, a human rights activist that have won many awards, a humanitarian, won many awards, have fought for many organizations and won many cases. But simply because he has come into the Biafra issue, some people have made him a joke. You can call him and insult him, you can talk to him anyhow, you can preach again. Why must you do that? Why do you have to do that? Even if you don't agree with what he said, you can disagree respectfully. Nobody say you must agree with everything anybody says, but disagree respectfully without insulting anybody. Disagree respectfully and give your points. Give your points why you disagree, and the world will judge. The Biafrans themselves, with their common sense, even if you don't go to school, your common sense can be able to give you answers to what you want, the answers you need. So let us go into this article that was written by Dr. Mazanga. Look at it there. You can see African World Media TV. He wrote, he said, "Dear President, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he thanked him. He said, "Greetings. How Abubakar Malami faked evidence against Simon Ekpa and Nnamdi Kanu as seen in court." Dr. Masanga is writing, how Abubakar Malami faked evidence against Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko, our Prime Minister, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as seen in the court of Finland. Just like he said in the video I played, there are some of those evidence that we have not seen. He says some of them are so funny that you can imagine that no human being will see those things and take Nigeria serious. The kind of fake evidence and how they formulated it. And he's writing to Tinubu. He said, "I really write to you good letters. Abubakar Malami, as a former Minister of Justice, lied to Nigerians and lied to the international community about the cases of Simon Ekpa and then Nnamdi Kanu. He issued abduction warrants and arrest warrant based on fake and corrupt evidence. As the evidence I have seen in court here in Finland, in the case of Simon Ekpa, and the evidence I saw in Kenyan court concerning Nnamdi Kanu." You see, that is why I say when we are talking, talk based on confirmed, verified information. Dr. Mazanga is writing here. I am quoting Dr. Mazanga. He is speaking based on evidence he has seen. Most of this evidence we have not seen it. There are so many of the evidence that is not in the public, just as he said. There are so many of the evidence that was shown only to the lawyers and the technical team that are supporting the main lawyers on the ground, that the public cannot see in the public. And that is what Dr. Masanga is right now. He said that Malami that you know, that the terrorists in Nigeria that is facing terrorist charges today in Nigeria, issued abduction warrant and arrest warrant based on fake and corrupt evidence. As the evidence I have seen in court here in Finland, in the case of Simon Ekpa, and the evidence I saw in the Kenyan court concerning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Abubakar Malami was arrested for corruption and terrorist activity, dealing with Boko Haram and other things that have destroyed Nigeria. You detained El-Rufai, Nasri Ahmed El-Rufai, on allegations that are not different from what other Nigerians have done in the past. As a humanitarian law expert, I find it very difficult to understand why Abubakar Malami is walking free in Nigeria. That is Nigerian law for you. They treat people differently. One law for one people and another for the other. I am sure your security agencies have given you a file containing the fake evidence that is here in the Finland court. If they have not, I can post to you the entire transcript that will shame Nigeria even more. As I'm telling you, there are many things that are not in the public. But these experts, like Dr. Mazanga and some other technical teams, are aware. They have this evidence before them. It was not very public. Many of us on the media speaking, they are not public. That is why I have always told you that I will not come here and tell you something that's not verified in this case. I will only speak based on information that are verified, that are coming from reliable sources. Those are what I'm going to speak about. That even if you make it to the court, they speak in Finnish. You cannot get a transcript. You are not allowed to film. You're not allowed to record. But the people that have first-hand information are these technical teams that have been reviewed and given details that you don't have on the social media. And Dr. Mazanga is making this clear. I am sure, he's talking to Tinubu, I am sure your security agencies have given you a file containing the fake evidence that is here in the Finland court. If they have not, I can post to you the entire transcript that will shame Nigeria even more. Just read the file of Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa and look in the face of Abubakar Malami by detaining him for embarrassing Nigeria. and detaining the wrong people when he himself is a terrorist. And he said, "Good day, Dr. David Inyakora Masanga, now peace advocacy awardee and international law expert, Pan-African Forum Limited Associate, Helsinki, Finland." He's writing from Finland. Did you see what Dr. Masanga wrote today? Did you see what Dr. Masanga wrote? You see, the case of Mazi Simon Ekpa is going to end this. Just as Mazi Simon said, he said, "I will be your end." You remember that very popular jingle that we play, where Mazi Simon said, "I will be your end." And Mazi Simon Ekpa is finally becoming the end of the Zoological Republic. They can't escape it. It does not matter how they try. It does not matter what they do. No matter how they try, no matter what they do, our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko is finally going to be their end. Just as many people have said, except there is any other thing, and the only thing that can be an impediment in this case, the only thing that can make things turn a different way is international conspiracy and interest, politics. And that is why we are shouting on different platforms. And that is why I am happy that people like Dr. Mazanga and some other technical team have gotten their hand on this very information and evidence, scrutinize it, and come out with the answer. And I'm happy that Dr. Mazanga is active online. There are many other technical groups that are not active online. They are not active online. But they are reaching out to human rights organizations. The United Nations is going to be aware of this. The EU is contracted. The United States of America, the strongest nation in the world, is having the details of what is happening. And I bet you, Finland has a wonderful opportunity to redeem themselves. Finland has a great opportunity to redeem themselves. And if they fail to do so, only God in heaven will decide what their fate will be. Only God in heaven will decide what their fate will be. I pray that the prayer of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should not take toll on them. Because if the prayer of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu take toll on them, that economic wealth they are looking for from Nigeria will turn out to become something different. It will turn out to become a disaster to them. That economic interest, they are so interested in building their economy that have made them to lose their conscience. If they continue to go on that path and refuse to make correction at this point in time, the result is going to be devastating. And I bet you it is not going to be a child's play. It is not going to be a child's play. So wherever you are, and you are part of this struggle, every one of us must continue to be on our knees, continue to pray. We know that our enemies are numerous. You can't even number them. We have so many enemies in the east, in the west, in the north, in the south. Which one are you going to count? The battle we are fighting today in Finland is not just against the Nigerian government. It is not just against the West. It is a combination of spiritual and physical battle. The battle is coming from all angles. The battle we are fighting today is coming from both spiritual and physical. And why every one of us need to be awake is that the people that are in charge of the Zoological Republic today are ready to sell everybody in Nigeria to stop the coming of Biafra. Nigeria itself, they will do everything humanly possible. But we know that the grace of God is stronger than anything you can think about. The grace of God supersedes Anything you can think, any evil that they bring, the grace of God supersedes it. And I believe that at the end of the day, we will return home with joy. Today, as Mazi Simon Ekpa opened his defense, we must be praying. Just like Mazi Simon Ekpa prayed for 1,000 wisdom. Mazi Simon Ekpa prayed for 1,000 wisdom. And in his program, he has not used up to 50. He has not used up to 50 before he was taken away. Every one of us, whenever you are praying, activate that 1,000 wisdom again. Reactivate that 1,000 wisdom for Master Simon Ekpa. Wherever you kneel down and pray, reactivate that 1,000 wisdom. He is in the court as we speak. As you and I are here talking, he is there defending you, defending me, defending our school of Master Nandika. As I said before, one of the greatest things that has happened to us is the spiritual aspect of Biafra. Sometimes when we say Biafra is a spirit, many of us don't know the meaning. The spirit of Biafra chooses whom he wants, does things the way he wants, that we can't even explain. The spirit of Biafra does things the way you can't even explain. That when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu boldly came out and said, and de-associate himself with the criminals, the XDOS, who came to Finland to testify against Mazi Simon Ekpa. Some of you don't know the weight of that. That very de-association of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from this group have a very powerful implication. Have a very powerful implication in the case of Mazi Simon Ekpa. Everything is working perfectly well to our own good. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have de-associated with himself. So whatever those idiots presented against Mazi Simon Ekpa is null and void. Anything that these idiots presented against Mazi Simon Ekpa in Finland is null and void. And that is why they are afraid. That is why they run away. They didn't come to court again to testify. Because when they appear, the very first question is going to be, who are you defending? Who do you stand for? You say you're IPOB. Which IPOB? And who is your leader? The same leader were sacked. Why were you sacked? So today, whatever they have written or placed against Mazi Simon Ekpa is null and void. And at the right time, they are going to serve their punishment for speaking lie against the innocent. Today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is standing on his path, removing himself from everyone that conducted this atrocity today that they are charging us for. It is this XDOS that was used to blackmail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are the same people they used to blackmail Mazi Simon Ekpa and the Liberation Army. And when I say these things, there is an evidence. And the evidence is in the public. The people that were used to blackmail the ESN and the Liberation Army are the Chikedoziemda and China Samoro. I am not saying that there's an evidence, which I have played very many times online. Even you, as you're watching me, if you want to see evidence, just go to Facebook. You type the confession of ESN of killing the traditional ruler. You will see where somebody who claimed to be a member of ESN, Ejima by name, Ejima, was confessing and said that China Samoru and his DOS sent them to go and take the life of a traditional ruler. And this man was the person that they were using to conduct a false flag to tarnish the image of the Liberation Army. It was carried by the national TV. NTA was there. Arise TV was there. Channel Television was there. All the popular television stations in Nigeria were there. They covered it. But ask me, why is it that nobody talks about it? They decided to walk away from it. And they focus on the legitimate people who come to protect their people. In that confession, you will hear Ejima say that their camp is at the back of police station. How can any agitating group have a camp at the back of police station? I want every one of us to use our common sense. How can any Biafra agitation group have their camp at the back of a police station? Now, that confirmed the fact that Chike and China Samoro took some part of the ESN and handed it over to the governors, which Chike himself confirmed. He confirmed that the governor approached them. All these things I'm telling you here, it's not a blackmail. Neither is it. There are facts, there are video evidence, there are pictures, there are audio evidence. Chike come to public and said that the governors approached them to hand them over the ESN, and they did. And the Seibo in Anambra State, on the national TV confirmed that Chike Edoziem and China Samoru IPOB is now working with them. They have agreed to work with them. That they are working with them. And we saw that handwriting with their blackmail. Blackmailing the sit at home. Going out to take innocent life and blame it on the Liberation Army. The Liberation Army that was created by Master Simon Ekpa. And this Liberation Army, the case was brought to Master Simon Ekpa. It's one of the charges they bring about Master Simon Ekpa. One of the charges, again, they were presenting with Master Simon Ekpa, is buying arms for the Liberation Army. Buying arms for the Liberation Army. And I ask you, the Liberation Army of Biafra was established officially under Biafra Republic Government in Exile. Remember, Biafra Republic Government in Exile is a legitimate and approved organization. International law supports you to have a government in exile. In Montevideo Convention, that man Simon explained several times on international law, in Montevideo Convention, you have the right to have an army under Biafra government, a government in exile. When you have a government in exile, you have the right to have an army. And before you have an army, even before you create a government in exile, before you have a government in exile, according to Montevideo Convention, you must have a territory that you're in charge of. You must have a territory. Biafra have its territory. Biafra have, right from the creation of the, remember what we did was redeclaration. Redeclaration. Biafra have been declared. Biafra was declared in 1967. Biafra was declared. It was just declared. During that time, Biafra was declared. And Biafra already have its own territory. What was done by Simon Ekpa is to reactivate the territory of Biafra. And he got the mandate from the people through the self-referendum. The Biafran people voted, more than 60 million people. Every one of us, there is evidence of the voting online. There is evidence of the voting on the ground. We saw videos. We are Biafrans, we are coming with a card and we are voting. So it is not something that maybe when I come here and say that we conduct something, if you did not participate in the self-referendum, it is your entitlement. You don't want to participate. It's up to you. If you are a Biafran of any extraction, some of you will say, oh, we didn't see it, I did not participate. It is your wish. If you choose not to participate, it is your right. Just like election, everybody must not participate in election. Some people will decide not to go. Some people will abstain. There will be abstinence. There are people who will not let them participate. There will be people who will be voting against. So that vote was conducted. And Mazi Simon Ekpa got the approval from Biafrans to create the government in exile. In that government in exile, according to international law, according to Montevideo Convention, you can, a government in exile has the right to have their territory, have their map, have their national anthem, have their constitution, and have their army. They have their army, they have their police, they have their navy. All this is, they have the right to own them. So, when Simon Ekpa created the Liberation Army, he didn't do it in the secret. He unveiled it in Finland during the convention. He did not unveil it in secret. It is not a security outfit he did in secret. It is not a cult. Army of Nigeria, Biafra land was unveiled during the convention in Finland. During convention in Finland, it was unveiled. We saw it. And when you create an army An army will not use stick to protect you people against terrorists. Every one of us, you have seen videos of the kind of ammunition the terrorists are using in our land. A terrorist that will shoot down an aircraft, a terrorist that will go and invade a barrack, a terrorist that we shoot down a fighter jet. When you want to confront them, what do? Terrorists that are using machine gun, using AK-47. Are you going to confront them with stick and wood? When you want to protect your people against them, are you going to protect them with stick and wood? Of course, you are going to protect your people with the same force that they are bringing. And that is self-defense. What the Liberation Army of Biafra was doing in Biafra land is self-defense. And while defending our people, remember that Nigerian government